Are you a travelpreneur who dreams of building a thriving business that gives you more time, financial freedom, and the flexibility to work from anywhere? Then you're in the right place, my friend. This is the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. I'm Lindsay Dollinger, and I've built multiple six-figure businesses while traveling the world, living life on my terms, and helping women entrepreneurs do the same. Whether you're a travel advisor, an online business owner, or someone looking to add more adventure and income to your life, this podcast is here to guide you. Each episode, I'll bring you business strategies that actually work, productivity hacks, branding and marketing expertise, and plenty of pixie dust fun to help you create a business that fuels your passion for both profits and travel. So if you're ready to scale your business, attract more leads, and build a brand that lets you work from anywhere in the world, let's dive in and create and own your magic together. Hey, welcome back to Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust. I'm Lindsay Dollinger, your favorite travel agency owner of At Last I See the World Travel. I'm also the only travel agency owner of them, but the marketing strategist that you know and love for you travel advisors and your go-to girl for turning your love of travel into actual income. And today we're going to talk about something that I know is quietly frustrating many agents, myself included, been there, done that. And we're going to talk about travel content that actually attracts clients. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I might be looking a little rough today for you. That's okay, friends, because one of the things that we're talking about is batching content. That's what I am trying to do today, except I woke up this morning with like the whole sinus head situation going on, which I don't think my voice sounds that bad yet, but I was hoping to batch out a ton of podcast episodes to get them out and ready because the end of the month I'm going to be going on a cruise, a Carnival cruise out of New Orleans. So we're going to go to New Orleans for a little while and then go on a cruise for spring break. And like I said, I'm just trying to batch and get things out, but also feel kind of like crap. So there's the situation. If you're watching this live and if you're not, you're like, Lindsay, I don't really care, which is totally cool too, friend. But I feel like I haven't been sharing as much about my life on here because I've just been diving into episodes trying to get the content pushed out to you because I know that's really, really important. And my life has just been so busy lately, very, very good busy with launching my agency and bringing on sub-agents with me. I switched from Travel Joy to Turn really officially like last week, but I've been slowly doing that migration over the past couple weeks. I launched a group river cruise for July 2027, so I've been doing that. Also been really prioritizing my health and fitness, so I started doing Pilates on Saturday and Sunday mornings. I'd like to do a nighttime class, but I just haven't found a way to fit that in my schedule yet. But anyway, this morning I woke up and I was really regretting booking my Pilates class, and you can't cancel within 12 hours. You get charged. So I dragged my butt out of bed. I made it through that. And then I came home and I crashed hard. So that's where we're at today. I have not gotten as much done. And that I also know probably frustrates you when that happens to you as well, because that's just, a human thing. But I think my body is like, okay, you need to calm down a little, girl. So all of that to say, I think when you can get really intentional about your content creation and also batching your content out, I feel like is so important, whether that is emails, podcasts, if you happen to have a podcast, just your social media posts, any of that stuff will help you so that when you are feeling crappy or you are traveling and out of town, you're able to keep up with the things and really stay front in mind, right? So let's dive in. Let's see, where am I at on here? So how do you create travel content that actually attracts clients? Because let's be honest, you're posting the castle photos of your trip and you're sharing the cruise sunsets and you're showing the gorgeous European streets. And sometimes you get the likes and you get the comments. I know I definitely always get more interaction when I'm traveling. So even before I was really diving into my travel business, when I was really leaning more into my business coaching, my coaches were like, still be posting a lot about your travels because you're going to convert more when you're traveling because people find that really interesting. And that was always the case. But it doesn't always get you the bookings, right? You might be hearing the crickets when it comes to the bookings, even though you're showing up consistently and you're like, okay, what is going on? So today I'm breaking down how to create engaging travel content that doesn't just look pretty, but actually converts. And yes, this ties directly into my castle framework that we've talked about a couple episodes ago. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, go back a few episodes. It should say something about castle framework, I'm pretty sure, in the title. Because content without strategy, it's just digital clutter. And we talked about that 2 weeks ago. So let's fix that. So why most travel content doesn't convert is because our industry is saturated with beautiful content. We have influencers left and right. We have maybe it's not even travel influencers, but other people with big followings who are posting beautiful content because everyone has a good camera nowadays, right? Everyone's camera, oh my gosh, it is a million times better than it was years ago. Everyone can buy Lightroom presets if they want. Everyone is posting the same fireworks at Disney and the same Santorini blue domes. Beautiful does not always equal bookable though, because we need to have that know, like, trust factor that I know you've heard about a million times. So the biggest travel mistakes or biggest just content mistakes I see travel advisors making, let's see how many I have. I have 3 here. Okay, one is posting destinations instead of positioning. So if your content is just like, look how pretty this is so fun, etc., you're now competing with the influencers and the tourism boards, the suppliers, Google Images, etc. It's not a winning strategy. Mistake number 2 is selling the location alone instead of the transformation. So your clients aren't just buying the Disney trip, the cruise cabin, the river cruise itinerary, right? They're buying stress-free planning. They're buying core family memories. They're buying time back with their loved ones, whether that's in the planning process by working with you or actually on the trip itself. They're buying elevated experiences and they're feeling taken care of. If your content doesn't speak to transformation, it's not going to convert. Or it might, but it's not going to convert as well as it could. And then mistake number 3 kind of goes along with that, but there's no journey. Every piece of content should move someone closer, like one step closer to working with you. So it's that awareness and then moving into trust and then hopefully inquiry and then booking. So if you're just randomly posting, we're just hoping that something's going to happen. We're not leading people to the next logical step. And you can't build a 6-figure or 7-figure travel business based on hope alone. We got to have that strategy and we have to have that intentionality when we are creating the content. So let's talk strategy. So as I said, if you've been around here a little bit, you know about the Castle framework. This is exactly how you create engaging travel content that's going to convert your clients. So the C stands for capture. We've got to capture their attention. We've got to stop the scroll. This is why the hooks matter if you've heard people talk about hooks. So instead of saying like, I had the best time on the Disney Wish this weekend, try 3 mistakes families make on Disney cruises and how to avoid them. And you're going to tie that into the Disney Wish. Or why this river cruise costs more and why my clients still choose it. That's a really good one, especially if you're trying to get away from like the discount or the value seekers necessarily. And I mean value in the way of like cheapening things, not in value of like, how can I provide value for you way. But a hook like that, I know can really kind of stop those, what's the word? What do we call those? When people... Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. I'm losing my words, but it's like right on the tip of my tongue. When people turn you down and they like don't want to work with you, what's that called? I want to say distractions. That's not the right word. Okay, friends. Well, we're going with it. So the C is all about being specific and curious and client centered when you're creating your content. The A is authority. Position yourself as the expert, even if you don't feel like an expert all of the time. You know more than the people who are wanting to work with you, who are wanting to book with you. You are the authority. You are the expert. So this is not just I love travel, right? This is here's what I look for when I evaluate a luxury safari property. Show your process. Show your expertise. Show the part that the clients don't see. There's so much of what we do that the clients don't see. Authority builds trust. Trust builds bookings. This is why when you get a certification for a program, when you meet up with a BMD in person, or a BDM, gosh, yeah, BMD, whatever. What is a BMD? Who knows? But when you're doing these things to work your travel business, you're on a training. Snap a picture, put it in your stories, put it on your wall. Let people know that you are taking the time to learn about these things. People are going to take you more seriously. I just had someone say that they booked a cruise with me because they had seen my post that I had completed the Virgin Voyages like certification the week before. Right. And I kind of felt silly, honestly, posting that because I'm like, I don't love tooting my own horn. And also I'm like, who's going to care about this? People cared about it. I'll tell you that much. Even if they don't comment on it, they might slide into your DMs later. You never know. The S is for story. So this is where the magic happens. Tell client stories. Tell your stories. I love storytelling. So instead of just, Epcot is beautiful in the spring, which we can make posts like that, sure. However, let's also make the posts like One of my clients was nervous about traveling internationally with her kids for the first time, and here's what happened. Story makes it emotional, and emotion is going to drive decisions. People can see themselves in your stories, right? When I said that, I'm sure that when I make that post, people are going to be like, I'm nervous about traveling internationally with my kids for the first time too. Let's read through this story, right? They see themselves in that story. They see the transformation that I was able to provide that person. And then they're like, okay, well, if she can do it, I can probably do that too. The T stands for trust. Handle objections before they're spoken. Oh my gosh, that's what I was trying to think of, guys. Objections, right? When I said why this river cruise costs more, why my clients still chose it, that it's overcoming objections. Okay, let's go back. All right, so handle objections before they're spoken. So you probably know the objections by this point in time, or you can guess them of the things that are going to come up when people are getting quotes from you or holding themselves back from booking a trip. So if your ideal client worries about budget, safety, gosh, right now I feel like safety is all over the place. Flying with kids, travel insurance, that's another one that we should always be talking about and encouraging people to get, telling stories about why people should get it. And language barriers, then create the content addressing those exact concerns, right? The agent who answers unasked questions wins. I'm going to say that again. The agent who answers unasked questions wins. L, lead. You must lead your people somewhere. So every post should have a direction, some sort of a call to action, whether that is comment guide, and I'll send you my Disney planning checklist, DM me River if you want details on 2027 sailings. Here's the link for whatever. But it doesn't always have to be that. It can also just be like add a question, like drop your favorite, or I guess this wouldn't be a question, but drop your favorite excursion to do in Cozumel below to help me decide what I'm going to do on my next cruise. Something like that, right? You are leading, because if we don't lead, then people just scroll without interacting, without thinking twice about it. And the last component of this is E, engage. Don't post and ghost. The magic is in the conversations. Engagement turns followers into relationships, and relationships turn into revenue. So when people comment on your things, comment back. Maybe head to their profile to take a look at it. Is there something there that you can comment on as well? And not in a spammy, icky way, right? We are being human. We are being friends, especially if they are people who you are friends with, connected anyway. Like, be a friend to them. Go through their stories maybe a couple times this week and comment back on things. Have some conversations with people. That engagement is key. Relationships are key. All right, we're back. I had to give my dog her medicine at 5:30. It was 5:35 and she was getting kind of antsy, but she gets medicine like 20 minutes before she eats. So I'm like, okay, I'll be done with this podcast by the time I have to give it to her or give her food after that. So anyway, apologies for the little break right there. Okay, so let's move into talking about content types that actually attract clients. And this is where I'm hopefully going to give you some ideas to for you to write down, for you to take and run with, make them your own, et cetera, et cetera. So here's the type of content that I see converting best for travel advisors. The first one is the before and after story, which I kind of already talked about, the storytelling piece. But painting the picture of before is an overwhelmed mom planning Disney alone, and after is the relaxed mom sipping coffee while I handle her lightning lanes for her, right? That contrast definitely sells for people when they can see themselves in that. I'm like, okay, I'd rather be the mom sipping coffee than the overwhelmed mom planning alone. Number two, and this one, these are always really fun for me to make, and I'll be honest, I don't make them as much as I should, is behind the scenes. Show your research, show you on a supplier call, show you on the site inspections, show why you chose one itinerary over the other. This can be usually probably through video, through stories or reels, TikToks, that sort of thing. But it can be a post as well. This is going to justify your commission and positions you as a professional because you are doing all this work behind the scenes, right? Number three, and this is the kind that I love making, and I have to stop myself from making it so much, is educational content. So for an example, this could be why the cheapest cruise is rarely the best cruise, for example. I don't know. My 5 favorite things to do in this certain location. These are going to attract clients who value your expertise. It repels the price shoppers, which is what everyone wants. Right? So you want to find the people who are here to learn from you and acknowledge and value your expertise. All right, number 4 is the objection handling post, which we've talked about now. One time without me remembering what it was called. The second time, well, yes. But for example, is it safe to cruise right now? Is it safe to go to Mexico right now? Is it safe to go to Egypt right now? The number of these questions that I have seen come up on my wall, give your answers to those. Make posts about them and make them public so people can see them. Is travel insurance worth it? Make posts about it so other people can see it. And then maybe the first link in the comments is the link for your travel insurance quote. Do I really need a travel agent? Answer these sorts of things publicly. People are going to see them. I promise people are going to see them. And don't just make a post about this once. Do you know how many times I talk about travel insurance? Or at least that I feel like talking about travel insurance. Talk about it. Like, make this a once a week thing where you handle some sort of objection. That's going to be a really easy plan for you with your content. Another one is day in the life. I love watching these when people do these, especially on TikTok. Walk people through what a day on an AMA Waterways river cruise actually looks like. So plan some B-roll, do some little clips, put it all together after your trip, or put it together in the evening before you go to bed on your trip, however works for you. But help them visualize themselves there, because the visualization reduces the hesitation. Number 6 is client spotlights. Not just I loved working with the S family, but why did the S family book? What were they nervous about? What surprised them? How did they feel after? Do you have a screenshot of a message where you can scribble out the person's name or whatever, where they say that their 4-year-old got to meet Cinderella and it was like the best day of her life, right? Those, again, along with the client spotlight of it, where the clients are like really, really happy and they want their friends to see it. Other people are also going to see that and be like, I really want my 4-year-old to get to meet Cinderella and have the best day of her life, right? So people are able to see themselves in those as well. So now let's talk a little bit about platforms, because you don't need to be everywhere. And here's how I think about it. Instagram, I feel like, is great for reels and carousels, for educational hooks, breaking down itineraries, stories, building that daily connection. Facebook, much the same. I also use Facebook a lot for groups, whether it's with my own group or me getting into groups and giving value and answering things and building community that way. Instagram, I feel like, it has to be a little more polished than Facebook. I don't know. That's maybe just the way I see it. If I had to rank them, Instagram is my least favorite platform. I won't lie. I get the least engagement over there. It's just never really felt like the community for me that Facebook has felt like. So pick which one makes more sense for you. Other ones, TikTok. I really, really like TikTok, actually. And I don't know if it's just kind of like what I don't care kind of what I put up on there. So I'm a more authentic and less inhibited of what I want to share. But TikTok to me is more videos that are raw. They're the quick tips. They're myth busting. They're in the moment, time sensitive sometimes. They're less polished, more personality. That's kind of the things that show up on my TikTok. I'm not sure about you, because I know the algorithm is very, very detailed over there. Email as well. I mean, email is not social media, but I'm just calling it a platform in general. Email is one of my favorite. Email is where bookings happen, because remember, we've said this many times, your list is gold. So I do think you need to be building an email list alongside of a social media strategy, even if it's just emailing once a month about things. You can use email to tell deeper client stories, share trip breakdowns, announce group departures. I know I just did this. Invite people to consult calls. Social builds awareness, and email is going to build revenue. Let's just put it like that way. That's just the facts. That's just the figures. And then you have Pinterest and YouTube. These ones are going to be search-based. These are going to be great for long-term visibility. Pinterest especially is great if you have a blog that you can push that people to. However, my Smarter Queue, you guys have heard me, if you listened to me a couple episodes ago, I talked about Smarter Queue for repurposing. I use my Smarter Queue and I have it attached to my Facebook, my Instagram, Pinterest. I could do it to YouTube and TikTok, but I don't. Or I think TikTok's on there too. But I just don't pay for that high of a plan to push it all those places. But it pushes a lot of my Reels and my Instagram content into Pinterest as well. And my Pinterest views have really exploded doing that. So, it doesn't always have to be pushing to a blog. You can also push it to social content. You can also push people to a quote form. Maybe if you just have a single lead magnet, make a bunch of pins pushing it over there to that. We're not going to go into the specific strategy on all of these, but pick a platform. I like to pick a social platform and then email, and then Pinterest and YouTube are kind of like bonuses for me at this point. If you're doing video, definitely repurpose it on YouTube. Like this show goes on YouTube as well as my podcast, right? And then I take it, I turn it into a blog, I turn it into an email, I turn it into social posts, right? All those things come from one piece of content. And I do, I think it's on there. If you head to my website, lindsaydollinger.com/freebies, actually, as I'm saying this, I kind of might have taken it off. But I do have a repurposing workshop that I ran all about repurposing in this way. If this is something that interests you, let me know. I could probably put it back on, if it's not already on YouTube, I could put it up on the podcast too. But if that interests you, let me know. But that's another way if you are, I guess I could say, advanced enough that you kind of have the content piece down and you're ready to be in more places and expand your visibility and your reach. Repurposing is a great way to do that. And my preferred way to do that, at least with the posting piece of it, is with SmarterQ. So I'm going to put my link for that. It is an affiliate link. I think you get 30 days free, I want to say. But check that out. Link will be in the show notes. Okay. And then one more big thing is how to create content with burning out. This could be its whole own podcast episode. One thing that I want to remind you, and I just heard this on an episode actually about YouTube creation, was the difference between people making videos on YouTube that were doing it as a full-time, like I'm going to be an influencer, versus I'm a business owner just putting my content on YouTube for the hope of getting discovered. So you are not most likely a full-time influencer. You are a travel business owner. So workflow, here's my workflow a little bit. And I already kind of mentioned this, is I batch. I plan ahead and I use ChatGPT, honestly, to help me plan ahead my topics and I have them planned out for the entire rest of the year. Now, will this tweak some? Sure. Was I planning on doing an episode last week about how to start as a travel agent? No, I pushed that in and I moved some stuff around. So there definitely is some flexibility in this, but overall I plan themes monthly and then I create weekly. And one video for me becomes a podcast. It can become a reel. It doesn't always, just because I'm lazy, honestly, but a reel, carousel, email, Pinterest pins. I feel like there's something else too that I'm missing, but it becomes all of those things. So repurpose if you possibly can. Shoot intentionally. So when you travel, capture the vertical video, the testimonials, the B-roll, the talking head clips. Think like a content CEO when you are traveling if you can. Maybe use ChatGPT to come up with a shot list of okay, these are what the things that I'm doing. This is my job. This is my role. This is my goal with my content. Give me a shot list of things that I need to shoot while I'm on my 5-day Carnival cruise and see what it comes up with for you. And last thing is to track conversations. Ask people how they found you and then use this data, not as guesswork, but use this data so that okay, no one is finding me on Instagram. This is me. This is actually what has happened with me. No one's finding me on Instagram. So I'm not wasting my time creating fresh new content for Instagram. I'm just going to repurpose stuff over there. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will see it is pretty much the exact same content that I'm putting on my Facebook business page because I'm scheduling it through SmarterQ because I get the interaction. I get the people on Facebook. And along with that, just a quick reminder, just a little quick side note, stop obsessing over the likes. Track the things that matter, the inquiries, the consult calls that are booked, the email signups, the bookings, the revenue from specific campaigns that you're doing. Because audience does not equal income. You can have a very small audience and be very lucrative in this business if you have the right strategy. And if you have the right intentionality, you're planning things out and you're putting yourself out there. You're not being a silent agent. You're letting people know what you do and how you can help them. And you are being a real human on the internet. You are sharing things like, hey guys, I'm sick today and I didn't put on any makeup and I'm making a YouTube video anyway and I look like crap. Or I just made a post that I have had my car for almost 2 years. No, 2 years. No, I've had my car for 2 years, guys, and did not know that if the car was locked, I could not open the gas door. Apparently my car has always been unlocked until today. I literally ripped the gas door off of my car, the cover of it. The part that's covering the gas hole in the gas tank was still shut. So I had to ask a man, which I really hate doing. I had to ask a man next to me, hey, can you help me with my gas door? And he said, is your car locked by any chance? And I was like, oh my gosh, it is. Is that a thing? And he's like, it's a thing. So I unlocked my car and now I'm holding my gas door and the gas door opens. So I don't even remember why I'm telling that. Oh, I'm telling you that story because be a human on the internet, because I told that story on the internet. People are laughing at me, which is fine. You can laugh with me because I'm laughing at myself about how ridiculous I am. But I'm sharing those sort of things so that people get to know me, right? Like I am not this perfect person who only can talk to you about travel. I can also talk to you about how I was an idiot at Speedway just an hour ago too. So if you take one thing from today, beautiful content's not enough. It's the strategic content that converts. When you create content that speaks to transformation, handles objections, positions your expertise, leads people somewhere, you stop hoping for bookings and you start building predictable ones. So if this episode helped you, please take a screenshot, share it in your stories, tag me. I love seeing what resonates with you, and share this with another travel advisor who needs to hear this, who need maybe their content's even awesome, but you're like, they just need to be a part of a community that is really fun, is real, and is out there just trying to elevate the whole industry, because that's what we're all about over here. So until next time, keep planning magical experiences, building profitable businesses, and always adding a little pixie dust. Go out there and create and own your magic. Bye, friend.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope you're leaving today inspired, princess, to create, own, and spread your magic to the world. If you found value in this episode or know a girlfriend who needs to hear it, would you screenshot it and send it to her? And if you're feeling really generous, pop it up on your IG stories and tag me at Lindsay Dollinger so I can see you loved it and tell you thank you. I appreciate you. Now let's go do some amazing things. Bye-bye. Hey, fellow Disney lover, are you looking for magical, comfy fashion? Then you need to check out Bella Bling's shop. Bella Bling's size-inclusive line is perfect for park hopping, princess races, or just adding a bit of everyday magic into your life. Much of the artwork of this comfortable clothing line is hand-drawn, unique artwork. I know this because I watch my sister do it. Yes, this is my sister's shop, and she takes so much time and care into everything that she creates. Every single piece is special. So again, whether you are just getting excited, going to the parks, whether you're getting ready to run a race, or whether you just want to add a little bit of Disney fashion into your life, make sure you check out Bella Bling's adorable, comfortable styles. Visit www.bellablingshop.com. You know I'll put that in the show notes for you. And make sure you use code PODCAST, all capital letters, to get 10% off your first order. Tag me when you get it, and I want to see what you decide.